The party was over. The champagne was flat, the forced corporate laughter was gone, and all that was left was a mess and a few people grabbing their coats. Arthur, the janitor, was the only one still working. He moved quietly through the room with his cart, a shadow cleaning up after the celebration. As he bagged up discarded plates, his eyes landed on the cake, a huge, 3-tiered chocolate masterpiece. Most of it was gone, but one small section remained. He just stared at it for a moment. Then, with a hand that trembled just a little, he grabbed a clean plate and cut a single, small slice. "What do you think you're doing?" The voice cut through the quiet room like a whip. Arthur froze. He turned around to see his boss, Mr. Harrington, standing there with his arms crossed and a look of pure disgust on his face. Mr. Harrington wore his authority like a designer suit, sharp, expensive, and meant to make everyone else feel cheap. "Mr. Harrington, I was just," Arthur stammered, holding the plate like it was evidence in a crime. "You were just what, Arthur? Stealing?" Harrington sneered. "Is that what we pay you for? To clean up and then help yourself to leftovers like some stray dog?" Arthur's face, lined with years of quiet, hard work, turned beet red. He looked down at the cake, then back at his boss. A few employees still lingering, including a young analyst named David and a marketing manager named Sarah, stopped talking to watch. You could cut the tension with a knife. "No, sir, I wasn't. I just thought since it was going to be thrown out." Arthur's voice was barely a whisper. He was trying to explain, but Mr. Harrington wasn't interested in explanations. He was interested in one thing: power. "You thought wrong," Harrington snapped, stepping closer. He loved having an audience. This was his chance to make an example of someone. "This is company property. Every single crumb belongs to Sterling & Sons, not the janitorial staff. This is about principle. It's about respect, something you clearly know nothing about." Arthur swallowed hard. "Sir, please, it's not what you think." "Oh, I don't want to hear your pathetic excuses," Harrington said with a dismissive wave. "I've seen your type. It starts with a slice of cake. Next thing you know, you're pocketing office supplies. You're a thief, Arthur. And I will not have a thief in my office." The word thief hung in the air, ugly and sharp. Arthur flinched. His pleading eyes now just looked hurt, a deep and profound hurt. He looked from Harrington's cold face to the pitying eyes of the other employees. The humiliation was a physical weight on his chest. "Sir, I'm not a thief," Arthur said, his voice a little firmer now, a last-ditch effort to defend his own honor. "I've worked here for 15 years. I have never taken a single thing that wasn't mine." "Well, there's a first time for everything, isn't there?" "And a last time," Mr. Harrington said with a cruel smirk, pointing toward the door. "You're fired, Arthur. Get your things and get out. I want you off this property in 10 minutes. Arthur just stood there for a second, the plate still in his hand, completely in shock. Fired. 15 years. 15 years of loyalty, coming in during snowstorms, staying late for plumbing emergencies, being the invisible, reliable guy. All of it. Gone. Over a slice of cake. Without saying another word, he set the plate back down, the untouched slice now a monument to his public shaming. He turned and walked to the janitor's closet to grab his things, his shoulders slumped in defeat. Harrington watched him go, a smug look on his face. He'd made his point. He felt powerful. As Arthur vanished down the hall, Sarah, the marketing manager, walked over to Mr. Harrington. You couldn't read her expression, but you could feel the storm brewing just underneath. "That was quite a scene, Richard," she said, her voice firm. Harrington adjusted his tie, puffing out his chest. He had to be taught a lesson. We can't have employees thinking they can just take whatever they want. "A lesson?" Sarah repeated. "Is that what you call it? Do you have any idea why he took that piece of cake?" Harrington just scoffed. "I don't care why he took it. The why is irrelevant. The act is the problem." Sarah looked at him, and for the first time, she didn't see a powerful boss. She just saw a small, petty man. "The why is the only thing that matters," she said, her voice dropping. "Today is his daughter's 8th birthday." Harrington's smug look started to crack. "So, he can buy his own cake." "He can't afford one," Sarah said, her gaze locked on him. His daughter, Lily, was diagnosed with a severe respiratory illness about 6 months ago. She's been in and out of the hospital ever since. Arthur's burned through his savings. He's working a second job. He's drowning in medical bills. He couldn't afford to get his little girl a birthday cake this year. He saw the leftovers and thought he could just bring her one piece. Just one. He just wanted to see his sick little girl smile on her birthday. The room went dead silent. Mr. Harrington's face went white. The power, the satisfaction, it all vanished. In its place was a cold, sickening dread. He looked at the slice of cake, then at the empty hallway. The image of the humble janitor he'd just humiliated transformed into a desperate father, trying to give his sick child one moment of happiness. That word he'd used, thief, came back to him, mocking him. He hadn't just fired an employee. He had stolen a sick child's birthday. Regret hit him like a punch to the gut. He staggered back. I didn't know, he whispered, the words sounding pathetic even to him. No, Sarah said, her voice dripping with contempt. You didn't know, because you never bothered to ask. You didn't see a person, you saw a janitor. You didn't see a father, you saw a thief. Panic set in. Harrington had to fix this. Now, where is he? He asked frantically, rushing down the hall to the janitor's closet. He threw the door open. It was empty. Arthur's worn coat was gone. The little framed photo of a smiling girl that always sat on his shelf was gone. He was too late. Harrington ran to the lobby, but the security guard said Arthur had already left. He just stood there on the cold pavement, feeling completely powerless. When he walked back inside, he saw Sarah talking with David, the young analyst. As he got closer, David looked up at him, his quiet demeanor replaced by a look of cold authority. That was a disgraceful display, Mr. Harrington, David said, his voice steady. Harrington was in no mood for a lecture from a junior employee. You have no idea what you're talking about, son. This is a management issue. On the contrary, David replied. I've been working at this branch for 6 months to see how our managers treat our employees, the people who are the real foundation of this company. A cold, sickening feeling washed over Harrington. Who are you? My name is David Sterling, the young man said calmly. And Sterling & Sons was founded by my grandfather, my father, the CEO. Just got my full report on your management style. The floor dropped out from under Mr. Harrington. He hadn't just messed up. He had performed his little act of cruelty for the one person on earth who could bring his entire career crashing down. Effective immediately, your employment is terminated, David said, his voice final. My father agrees with me that a man with such a profound lack of compassion and basic human decency has no place in leadership here. Please have your desk cleared out by morning. Meanwhile, Sarah had an idea. She gathered the other employees who saw what happened. With tears in their eyes, they all chipped in, went to the best bakery in town, and bought the biggest chocolate cake they could find. They added a box of presents and a big balloon that read, Happy Birthday, Lily! They found Arthur at the Children's Hospital, sitting by his daughter's bedside. Lily was a small girl, pale and tired, with tubes helping her breathe. Arthur was just holding her hand, his face a mask of sorrow, trying to explain why he'd come empty-handed. When he saw his co-workers walk in, he was speechless. Tears streamed down his face, but this time they were tears of gratitude. They all sang Happy Birthday to Lily, and her eyes lit up the whole room. The next morning, Richard Harrington carried a small cardboard box out of the office. He didn't look at anyone. The people he once ordered around now just looked at him with pity and disdain. His whole world was built on power, and in one single arrogant moment he'd brought it all down on himself. Arthur was offered his job back the next day, along with a promotion to building supervisor and a salary advance to help with his daughter's medical bills, an offer arranged by David Sterling himself. Now, while this story is a fictional narrative created to serve as a powerful reminder, it touches on themes of workplace fairness seen in real-life events. For example, a real case in Kentucky involved an employee who was awarded $450,000 after being fired due to panic attacks from an unwanted office birthday party, highlighting how complex these situations can be. Our story today is a parable, a what if, that underscores a universal truth. You never truly know what battles the person next to you is fighting. A little compassion can change everything, while a moment of cruelty can cause damage you can never undo. If this message resonates with you, subscribe to our channel and share this video. And tell us in the comments about a time when a small act of kindness made a big difference.